Question 4. Give at least 2 examples of a 2D shape that have diagonal lines that are perpendicular to each other. Now, this word perpendicular basically means lines which make a right angle. So, or lines which form a right angle. So, lines which form a right angle, they would be perpendicular lines. So, we've got all the quadrilaterals here: rectangle, square, trapezium, parallelogram, rhombus, kite. Diagonals are lines that join opposite corners. That's what a diagonal is if you're talking about shapes. So they join opposite corners. So you can see we've got the diagonal lines, the opposite corners are joined. So we're just looking at the diagonal lines where there is a right angle in the middle. So we can spot a right angle here. There's right angles obviously also there, there, and there. So these lines join at right angles. So definitely those lines are perpendicular. The diagonal lines are perpendicular because they make right angles. So a square would be one answer. We've got a rhombus. So that diagonal and that diagonal, they form right angles in the corner. So that one works as well. So rhombus is also an acceptable answer. And actually the other one is a kite. That's a diagonal. Just because this isn't a diagonal line, don't confuse a diagonal line with a diagonal in a shape. A diagonal in a shape simply joins opposite corners, and we are joining 2 opposite corners there, so that is a diagonal of the shape. This line joins 2 opposite corners, so that is a diagonal of the shape. And they also form right angles where they meet. So they are also perpendicular. So you could also say a kite. If you look at the other 3 shapes, we can't say that they make right angles in the middle. So rectangle, no. Trapezium, no. Parallelogram, no. Because these angles here are not right angles. We've got 2 obtuse, 2 acute. These angles here are both obtuse. These 2 angles are both acute, so they aren't making right angles. These 2 angles are obtuse, and these 2 angles are acute, so they aren't making right angles. So you can't have a rectangle, parallelogram, or trapezium. You can have a square, a rhombus, or a kite.